Hi guys, good morning. I'm Antonia, one of your Fortitude coaches, and today I'm inviting you to join me to do a 40-minute mobility little session. So to start with, we're going to do a little bit of a warm-up, and then we're going to do some upper body, shoulder and neck mobility stuff, and then we're going to do your hips, lower back, leg stuff, and then a little bit of core work at the end. So come on, join me, and we'll get you moving a little bit for this very static period of time. So first thing we're going to do, guys, is just get you moving. So get some blood circulating, get some mobility happening through your body. So reaching up nice and tall and then down to the ground. Welcome to my home. This is where I live in Ellerslie. And reaching up nice and tall. My little personal bubble is just myself and my husband Cameron, who is somewhere around here, so you might get to meet him this morning. And reaching up tall and down. Hopefully not naked. And up, nice and tall. Huh? Yeah. Good. Okay. Walking forward onto your hands and down onto your stomach, and then lifting up nice and tall. Stretching out those tummy muscles, and then hips up, chest down. Getting those shoulders moving a little bit. And we're just going to do that again. Down and up. And down and right up, chest down. Good. And one more time. Down and up. Beautiful. And down. Hips up, chest down. Good. Alright, then we're just going to get into your calf muscle. So just a little drop of the heel there. Stretching out your calf. This is a long calf gastroc used for sprinting, jumping, all the powerful stuff. Switch to the other side. The right side is really tight. And then we're going to do short calf, so bending the back knee this time. So this is stretching out your soleus, which is the lower calf, or the calf that's kind of closest to the shin bone, which is used for walking, standing, the more subtle stuff. Getting in there. And back onto your tummies and arms out, and we're going to do some scorpions here. So lifting one leg, reaching over towards the opposite hand and other side. Let's go 3 to each side of these. 2 and 3 and 3. Good. And then we're gonna come up again, chest down. Good. Then down onto your knees, hands down, and stretching just the wrists just a little bit. Again, we're just getting blood flow happening here. We're not really stretching yet. Just moving a little bit. Good. Alright, then I'd like for you to sit, legs straight in front of you, reaching forward. Nice long stretch. This stretch routine I do most mornings, I would say. I think it's really helps for you to feel good for the day. So reaching nice and long forward. Particularly at the moment, I think, because we are all stuck at home. It's easier to kind of sit around and do nothing all day, but just a little bit of stretching really helps for you to feel a bit better. So rolling side to side here, we're going to do 3 to each side. 2 and 3 and 3. And then we'll do just one leg. So one leg straight, other leg round. And then other side, round. Very good. Then we're going to just stretch out your upper body just a little bit. So hands behind you, walking hands backwards into a nice long stretch. Beautiful. We're just getting those shoulders a little bit warm now. Good. And then we're going to go legs down and up. 3 of these. These are called candlesticks. I have no idea why. I think it might be because your feet are kind of like flames at the top. 1 and 2, 3. Oh, very good. Okay guys, then we're going to get into your adductors a little bit. So I would like for you to just go straddle and reaching forward. This is targeting the muscles on the inside of your legs. And then we're going to go over to one side, so stretching out the sides a little bit, reaching over. Don't worry if you can't go very far. If you are very inflexible this way, this is a really important kind of thing to get as flexible as possible. So if you can get somebody to push on your back, this one and also for this one would be a very good idea, and you hold that. But we're going to do some more static stretching later, which is actually working on your mobility. For now we're just warming up a little bit. So over to the side and then over to the other side. That's it. Good. And then let's do frog and chest down a little bit. Always with this kind of warm-up stuff, it's good to kind of bounce into the positions you don't want to be statically holding yet. So we're just warming you up a little bit. You can actually injure yourself stretching if you do it too hard too fast. So just ease your body into it. That's it. And then legs slightly feet further away, chest down again. That's it. Good. And now we're just going to get hips moving a little bit here. So what I would like for you to do, come up onto your knees, 1 foot forward, and then we're going to go hips forward just a little bit. Just relaxing into it. Again, a little bounce. That's it. And other side. Little bounce. Good. Then we'll do individual hamstrings. Just a little bit. And this one. Yeah. Cool. Okay guys, so what we're going to do now is we are going to do a little bit more focused stretching for your upper back, shoulders and neck. So to start with, what I would like for you to do is grab, I happen to have a husband that does Aikido, so he has got, this is a weapon called a Jo, so it's perfect for this because it's exactly like the sticks that we use at the gym to do shoulder mobility. But you can use a broomstick or a towel if you need to, but basically you want something that you can just hold in your hands nice and wide to start with, and then we're just going to go overhead, circling the pole around, just keeping it nice straight arms. Make sure your shoulders are symmetrical, so you're not doing like one then the other, yeah, so keep them moving at the same time. Then you're going to gradually bring your hands in closer together as you go, like that. Yeah, we're starting to get quite a good stretch there now. So congratulations everybody on making it to a week into lockdown. Big achievement. I'd say for us it's been, we've replaced work with cardiovascular activities. So basically walked for like 4 hours every day or biked 4 hours every day, which I'm definitely not conditioned for, so today might be a little bit less of that and more of this to recover. It's interesting finding things to pass the time with. So for this one you want to do about 10 of these, just gently moving your hands closer and closer together as you go. Then next step, we're going to move the pole behind you, so we're actually stretching a little bit of our forearms more, this one. So we're coming around and to the front, and at the front here you should start feeling it in your forearms here. So this is your wrist extensors. Coming around. Yeah, so yesterday we biked for yeah, like it was pretty much 3 to 4 hours I think. Got rained on. Didn't crash, but it was beautiful, but man, my legs are not conditioned for that at all. Good. Alright guys. And then, so after we've done that, we're going to do a little bit of a forearm stretch here. So this is really quite effective in terms of it stretches out. So when we're stretching, doing mobility work like this, often people are just focused on muscle groups, but the kind of latest research over the last 5-ish years is
the myofascial network in your body has become more and more appreciated. So your muscles are made up of quite contractile tissue, and they've got a casing around them, which is called the fascia. The fascia is continuous from one muscle group to another. So there's a much closer relationship from one muscle group to another than back in the olden days. Maybe 20 years ago, the fitness industry didn't appreciate that relationship as much as they do now. So we definitely need to think about the myofascial network in terms of you want to stretch big chains of muscles at once, as well as targeting individual muscles. So that's what this stretch is doing. So we're stretching out mainly your wrist extensors, which is this forearm muscle here, but also if you move your hand to the side slightly and tilt your head as well to the side, so you can feel that all the way up to the neck, you know, like it's really continuous. So just going to hold that a little bit there, nice and gently. Stop having such pained expressions. It feels good, honestly. Don't look at this. Just do it and you'll feel good. It'll feel good after. Maybe not during so much. That's it. Little stretch. Whew, it's tight. Good. And then we're going to go other side. So turning the wrist around, grab the pole or broom, whatever you're using. A little stretch of the forearm first, so there's a little bit of pressure going down on the stick on this end, and then tilting away. That's it. Good. Yeah, you want to really try to relax the shoulder as much as you can doing this. Let that drop. Good. And then we're going to go back to the other side, do that one more time. Down. So mobility is one of those categories in fitness or in your training that people often avoid or forget or don't prioritize as much. And usually the reason why is because of time. You know, like it's a big time investment to do all of your mobility work, which is something that we definitely are not short of at the moment. So I think during this lockdown, I think it's a perfect opportunity to really work on your mobility, try and do this kind of stuff every single day, get your bodies more relaxed, get your imbalances all as balanced as possible. Okay, that's enough with that. Nice. Alright, just have a seat, guys. And we're just going to gently do the similar stretch here, but we're doing just the neck now. So just tilting to the side, hand on the top, gently pressure there. 3, 2, 1, and then other side. 3, 2, 1, and then we're going forward now. So forward and slightly to the side. Forward. 3, 2, 1, and then other side. Forward. 3, 2, 1. Oh, that's good. Okay, now we're going to move into shoulders. So first thing, and this one's really important, is we're going to do static pec stretch. So just find something you can put your hand up against, hand against a wall or a door frame, hand slightly higher than your shoulder height. So on an angle slightly, and then turning away. Keep that shoulder blade down and back, and we're just going to hold this one for a good 30 seconds, 20 to 30 seconds, depending on how tight it feels. With all of these stretches, everybody is different, right? So I always gauge how long I hold the stretch for according to how tight the muscle group that I'm stretching feels. So if you do feel like it's tight, then hold it for a little bit longer, of course. That's it. And then turning to the other side. Neighbours are looking at me really awkwardly. That's it. Hold. Nice. 3, 2, 1, and get right in there. Awesome. Okay, now we're going to stretch out your armpits, so you just need something that you can put your hands onto, like a table or a chair or something. I'll just use this one. So, hands about hip height and chest down. Really get in there. This is another one you can have somebody pushing on your back if you are doing it together with a partner or something, get them to push down on your back, right between your shoulder blades, get some pressure in there. Stretching down. Nice. 3, 2, 1, and that's it. Cool. Okay, we're just going to do a little bit of thoracic stretching now. So hands and knees on the mat or towel, and we're going to push your back right up to the ceiling and let your head just hang down gently. So you're using the weight of your head here to stretch out your upper back. So just relax your neck and your back as much as possible, and you're using your abs basically to push your back right up to the ceiling or the sky, you're outside. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. And now we're just going to do a bit more of a thorough stretch of the forearms. So with I think most of you guys will be, you know, people that do CrossFit or heavy lifting of some sort, so or lots of rig work as well. Really common for you to have super tight forearms if you do that kind of activity. So if you do have super tight forearms, then they'll fatigue a lot more quickly because blood flow is less efficient, right? So doing this forearm mobility is really important to keep the muscles relaxed, to keep the myofascial networks relaxed, and so that the blood flow is much more efficient, so your body can deliver oxygen to your muscles so that your muscles are not using the glycogen that's stored in them, which means that they will fatigue at a much slower rate. So really important to do your forearm mobility. It's often something that people don't do. And when you do this stretch, it's also really important to get right into your fingers, you know, like not just wrist flexors. You will also want to do like really isolate the fingers as much as you can, so you're tilting the hand up as well and just stretching out the fingers. I work most of the time as a chiropractor, and I use this little gun thing in this hand, and so I always have got super tight through this part of my palm on the right hand. So this stretch definitely really helps me to keep some balance here, keep those wrist flexors nice and relaxed. That's it. Nice. And also really important, guys, to do your wrist extensors as well. So that's the other side of your wrists, this way. Beautiful. So just straight first, so fingers pointing directly back towards my body, and then we're also going to do with your hands on a slight angle this way. This just gets a little bit more isolated to the wrist extensor that runs around the top towards the outside of your elbow. So pushing down on an angle as well a little bit. That's it. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Okay, final static stretch for your upper body is targeting biceps. So biceps is quite a difficult muscle group to stretch because, I mean, you can only straighten your elbow so much, right? But there is little hacks that you can do that if they're tight, you can get right in there. So this stretch is really good. I don't feel it a lot unless my biceps are tight, but it's good to do it just because sometimes you don't know they're tight until you actually do the stretch, right? So we're going to tilt your hand again, similar angle with the wrist that way, up against a wall. This is not ideal, right? You'd be better off on an inside wall. In fact, I'll go here on the glass, and then we're going to turn away. So hand that way, turning away. Arm at the same angle as we did for your pec stretch. I don't know if I'm actually in frame, hopefully I am. Just new at this, guys. We might be doing a lot of this. It's a whole world of exploration. And then other side, again, hand tilted slightly, and turning away. Oh yeah, see on that side I can feel it in the bicep. The other side not so much. But you don't know until you do it, a lot of the time. Awesome. That's good. Cool. Okay, next section. So one tool that I think is just everybody should have one of these is a foam roller. So if you don't have a foam roller, this is what they look like. This is from the gym. So thank you so much to Ryan for being so generous with letting everybody take equipment home to use. That was amazing of you. This one is exceptional, nice and firm. If you don't have a foam roller at home, you can use a large bottle. You want it quite a cylindrical bottle, and you can wrap a towel around it to make it a little bit more comfortable, and use that as a substitute for this. It's slightly less smooth and a bit more awkward, but it is still quite effective. So you can kind of go to a position and hold and relax over it, as opposed to rolling as smoothly as you will with these. But so I do this every single morning, starting with sitting on it. You're going to bend a little bit and roll over the back of your sacrum, so that's the bone at the bottom of your spine, and then come onto your lumbar spine gently, hands on the roller here for this. If you have got any lower back issues or instabilities, don't roll on your lumbar spine on the roller, it's just a little bit too much pressure. If your spine is great and healthy and you're good, then this is alright, but keep some contact with your forearms on the roller for the lumbar spine part. So you're going to roll over your lower back, relaxing over the roller as much as possible, and then you're going to come onto your upper back and roll right over, relaxing over it, all the way up to your neck, and then back up. Oh, that's good. Up to sitting, and we'll go again. Rolling over sacrum, onto lumbar spine, over your upper back, arms up. It's way more effective if you have your arms up for the top part. And we're going to do that one more time. Down we go. Rolling over. Upper back. Good. Oh, that's so good. That feels good. Okay, cool. Now, last little bit for your upper back stuff and neck stuff is using the roller to basically trigger point any tight muscles that you might have in your traps or in your neck. So the way to do this, and it's really quite effective, but takes some practice, so if it feels awkward, don't worry, you just need to practice and you'll get better at it. So you're going to lie first with the roller directly underneath your neck, relax your neck over it, and first thing we're going to do is we're just going to turn your head to the side slightly, just like this. You're moving your whole upper body as you do this, so you're turning to the side, just rolling over the muscles in your neck, and you'll feel, if you have any tight muscles in your neck, you'll feel them kind of like, you'll feel like there's a lump that you roll over. If you do feel that, that's great. You found a muscle that needs to be trigger pointed, so go back and forward over it gently and slowly until it loosens off a little bit. So turning. That's it. Yeah, some juicy ones on there for me. That's it. Oh god, it feels good. So basically what we're doing here is we're using the spinous processes of your vertebral, well, the bones in your neck, to massage the muscles that are tight in the back of your neck. It's so good. Oh god, it's so tight. I could do this for hours, depends how tight you are, but all this friggin' basically went from being like a very part-time athlete to like an Ironman in the last week. That's how it feels. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is get the suboccipital muscles. So that's the ones right at the base of your skull here. They basically control the movement of your head mostly. So to get those, we're going to move down slightly. So you're just at the base of your skull on the roller. Then you're going to turn about 15 degrees to the side, and then you're going to let your head tilt as much as you can, so lifting your butt up and tilting your head, and you should feel the stretch right down the back of your neck and up around your head also sometimes. But the point where the pressure is on your head should be on the base of your skull here. That's it. So just holding there for a little bit. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we're going to do other side. Gently. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Awesome. And last step with the upper back neck on the roller or on your sweet bottle is traps. It's the biggest muscle group in your upper back neck. Really common for people to have tight traps. At this point in time, probably a lot of you have got tight traps because it's so up in the air. Everybody is kind of jobless and incomeless, you know, at a loss of what to do with their time. So, trap stretch, this is really effective. So, we want the roller at the base of your neck here, then relax your head over it, move your body up slightly, and then we're going right over at the base of your neck. And you should feel, you'll roll over the trap and you'll feel like a lump moving underneath your neck. Oh, that's so good. And then other side. That's it. Good. You might hear some like crunching and stuff going on when you do this kind of stuff, or clicking. If you do, that's fine. Don't worry. It's just your joints self-correcting themselves. No, I'm not sick. It's just the morning. If you do hear clicking and stuff like that, it's usually your body self-correcting misalignments or just a little bit of cartilage releasing tension. It's usually a good sign if it moves easily like that on its own. So don't stress about that. If it hurts, of course, then send me a message. I hope it doesn't. It shouldn't. Okay. Next thing we're going to do, well, we've got the roller. We're moving into your lower body. Actually, no, we won't do the roller because we need to warm up your hips a little bit first before we do rolling on your legs because it can be quite sensitive. So we'll warm them up a little bit more first. So we'll just put the roller to the side first. And first thing we're going to do here is just the basic quad stretch. Okay, so probably easiest to just stand, foot to butt, and pull foot to butt. It's real simple. A lot of people find this really, really difficult. I am a lot more flexible than most people, so don't feel like thinking that you're terrible at everything.
Hey there.
Oh, hello.
Guess what I'm going to go do?
This is Cam.
I'm going to go for another walk.
Another walk? Where are you going?
Out and about. Exploring.
Other side? Yeah. How long will you be?
Hour.
Fun?
Fun to do.
So many fun activities to do. This is fun time. Okay, now that quads are a little bit warm, we're going to jump onto couch stretch. So best done by a couch, which is why it's called the couch stretch. So I'm just using a couple of pillows. Just need to sneak it in there. So what we're going to do, you want your knee down on the ground. How close your knee is to whatever the surface that you're up against is dependent on your flexibility level through your hips and quads. So if you're inflexible, then you want your knee about 20 centimeters from the wall or the couch. If you are very flexible, then you want your knee right up against the wall or the couch. So I'm going to go quite close here. Foot up backwards behind you. Your toes should be touched up that way, not like that. Yeah, so toes up, and then you're going to try and be as upright as possible. So we're going to have your tailbone tucked under, tummy kind of switched on, and standing up, or body upright as possible. And we're just going to hold this one for a good 90 seconds. So it feels like a long time, but that's how long it actually takes for the muscle fibers to adapt to the lengthened position, as much as they're going to for that stretch. So we're just going to hold this for, it'll feel like an age. Really should have put a timer out here. Okay, not sick, it's just the morning. It's fine. Feel great. Okay, that feels like 90. Do you think it's 90? Yeah. Swap. Other leg. And that's it. wish that you guys could talk back to me while I do this. I feel very narcissistic just talking the whole time. Miss you. I really miss you all. So sad. Man, this leg is super tight. So, fun story. About 10 years ago, I was a pedestrian walking across the road and a car hit me. And it was pretty intense. I had a shoe fly off, smashed the windscreen, was unconscious, woke up in hospital. Miraculously,
Wearing headphones at night.
I was wearing headphones. I was an idiot. I just was walking in the wrong place at the wrong time, wearing headphones, wearing black. Yeah, it was my fault. But anyway, the only injuries I woke up with was a dislocated shoulder and dislocated knee joint, which was amazing considering should have been dead really. But anyway, since then, that was about 10 years ago, since then I had a few, the knee was just unstable for ages, and eventually I had surgery 3 years ago which reconstructed the ACL and the meniscus, which was flapping around in there, good bucket handle tear there. Anyway, since then I'm kind of scared of putting full power through this knee, so we did this 4-hour bike ride yesterday, which was out of normal pattern, and today my quad is this quad feels way tighter and sorer, hence I'm holding it longer, than this one, which you don't realise these imbalances until you actually do the stretching like this and you feel the difference. And like today I'm just like, wow, that's so different on one side to the other. So obviously I've been neglecting this quad a little bit more than I realised. So it's one of the big benefits of doing this kind of stuff is you find out these things. So send me messages if you find any imbalances that have not been addressed because it's specific to you, then yeah, send me a message and I'll give you as much of a solution as I can. Okay, anyway, so now we've warmed up your legs just a little bit. What we'll do is we'll just do, I think we'll do glutes first. So what we're going to do here is, I don't actually know the name of this stretch. I think it's called pigeon stretch or something like that. But what you're going to do is tuck your leg in sideways, like that, and then you're just going to get your butt as close to the ground as you can. Don't worry if you can't go down very far, that's kind of normal. So just getting down as far as you can. Oh my god, it's so tight! Wow. Again, I really should stop doing the painful expressions so much. This feels great, guys. Great. Loving it. Cool. Okay, and then we're going to switch to the other side. That's it. It really is like we're living in a zombie apocalypse, isn't it? Just put his mask on. We've been disinfecting our shoes, gloves everywhere. It's crazy, man. So crazy. So again, we're holding this one for about a minute, I think. Not quite as long as the couch stretch. So couch stretch is stretching, it's targeting really fibrous tissue, which is, what the hip flexors are made up of. So that is the reason why you need to hold that one for longer, because it takes longer for the muscle or for that fibrous tissue to actually lengthen and adapt, like I said, to the longer state. So for that one, we are actually trying to get the muscles to really lengthen so that they're not pulling on your pelvis so much. If you have tight quads, and we're going to get to IT bands, the muscle down the side of your leg is called iliotibial band. So it runs from your tibia all the way up and attaches around your iliac crest. If that is tight, it's really common to cause knee issues and also lower back issues. So going back to the myofascial network stuff, this band down the side here is mostly kind of like quite tough, fibrous kind of fascial tissue, which the muscle is easily stretched, really. The IT band is much more difficult to stretch. it doesn't have a huge range of motion, so static positional stretching doesn't really work that well for IT bands. And B, it's fibrous tissue, so it's got very low blood flow and not contractile too much. It's basically an impact absorber. But the fascial stuff, we went to that Bodyworks exhibition that was here a year or two ago down in the waterfront, and it was really fascinating to look at, because it was this kind of exhibition which had all these real life human bodies that were dissected, or the skin was taken off and you could see all the muscles and all the fascia and all the like gristly bits. It was crazy, great, but very made some people uncomfortable. But anyway, it was really fascinating for me. So the fascial connection that goes from the front of your knee here up the side of your leg, yes, it attaches at your hip, but it also moves all the way around and it attaches all the way up onto your spine. So there's a huge amount of fascia that's continuous with the IT band that goes all the way around here. So that's what makes the IT band so important for your lower back and also your knees. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab the roller again. I'm sorry in advance, this can be a sore one. If it is, then just go gently. Go gently, do it frequently. We've got the time at the moment. And if it is sore, it's usually an indication that you actually really need to do it. So here it is, your favourite moment of the stretch session. We've got about 5 minutes to go, by the way, guys. You're doing really, really well. Okay, lying on the roller, on the side, close to your knee. Then you're going to gently, and if it's sore, use the other foot. Like, just put that on the ground and give this one a break a little bit. So let's move up a little bit. We're going to start at the top and then gently rolling down. Oh, yeah, that's good. All the way to your hip and then back up. So just rolling out these. Again, if you don't have a foam roller, you can use a bottle, or some people, if they've got a super high tone in their muscles, actually just use a rolling pin. Seems a bit ridiculous, but it is quite effective. But yeah, if you've got a bottle, that will be great for this. Oh man, that's tight. Yeah, it can be quite sore. So gently rolling up and down. That's amazing. We're gonna go up and down maybe like 6 times. Just gently getting that rolled out a little bit. That is so sore. I mean, fun. It's fun. Do it with me, guys. So you'll feel, again, when you're doing this, you'll feel it kind of roll over a lump sometimes. And if it is rolling over a lump, usually it means that that lump is a tight strand of muscle fibers or fibrous tissue which needs to be worked on. Rolled out. Punished, no. Loved. Tender loving care. That's what it needs. With the brutal foam roller. Okay, after you've done your IT band, we're going to turn your hips slightly, so we're going to tilt your pelvis forward a little bit so that you're kind of facing the ground a little bit more, and then you're going to roll over the front kind of lateral side of your quad. So this is just getting the edge of the IT band and the lateral quad, which is the one on the outside of your leg. And that's it. Also, this one might be, again, quite sensitive. Probably more sensitive if you're a complete dickhead and go and bike for 4 hours when you've done no biking in like 2 years. Ah, yeah. Oh, that's so sore. Okay, other side. Hang in there, guys. You're doing amazing. We're nearly there. On your leg, by the knee, and rolling down. That's it. And again. Yeah. Oh yeah. That is really good.
Okay, and then turning a little bit, rolling over the front of your quad. Front / side of your quad. And down. And amazing. Oh! Jeez. Oh, that's good. Okay. Right. Last little bit. You're doing so well, guys. We're just going to do a little bit of abs. So this is just gently, we're going to start sitting up nice and tight, nice and straight, and then you're going to tilt your pelvis back slightly, rolling again over your sacrum. This is just waking up your lower abdominals a little bit for the day, and then you're slowly controlling down. So you want one segment of your spine to hit the ground at a time. So just really slow, controlled, arms up, all the way to the ground, and then we're coming up again, nice and slow and controlled. Slowly tilt back with your pelvis, super controlled. There should be no point here where you drop or you fall to the ground. Slowly lower back, down, and one more time, tilt the pelvis, all the way down, gently, beautiful, and one more, slowly down, beautiful, alright, okay, well done guys, last little bit here. So I read this in the Herald, I don't know how accurate it is yet, I need to do more research, but apparently there's a test you can do if you do get sick or if you get this virus, where you take a deep breath in the morning and expand your lungs as much as you possibly can and hold for 10 seconds. And if that makes you breathless, then apparently that's when you have got a little bit of issues going on in your lungs. So let's do this test together, just so you guys can do a practice run. Hopefully we don't need to actually use this test, but we may. So what we're going to do, big breath in, all the way in, and hold 10. And let it out. Feels quite good, and I'm not breathless. Woo! Okay, that's enough. Well done. Thank you if you made it to the end of this video. Keep active, guys. That's the best thing for your mental health right now, is just do your exercise. This kind of stuff will really help for you to feel good and be able to handle doing your exercise. I miss you all. Hopefully we can see each other soon. And yeah, I'll be back.